good evening, everyone. It's your boy Laderick, aka Big Jink, with another podcast video. And today we will be covering an interesting subject that's near and dear to my heart. We will be talking about the Immaculate William Shakespeare. Um, Before I get started with my podcast, I want you guys to don't talk about me. My voice is a little shaky today because I'm a bit under the weather. Something in the air going around. I have my hot tea right here. So if I start coughing my lungs out, please forgive me and please don't talk about me. But moving right along, getting into William Shakespeare. As you guys know, time travel has just been finalized, and they have been working on it for years and years and years. And I must say, it is not cheap to time travel. I'm talking about close to $5 grand to time travel to any time period you want to go to. Lucky me, I had some money saved up, and I was able to be amongst the first groups to go. And I chose 1591, Verona, Italy, to go travel and watch William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet play live. And when I tell you, stuff that we get away with in 2023 would not fly in 1591. So we have a bunch of grace in today's time than we would have back then. But moving on to the play, Romeo and Juliet is one of William Shakespeare's most famous plays. It was written between 1591 and 1595, and it's a tragic love story that has captivated audiences for centuries. Centuries, you hear me? The play was created in 1591, and here I am in 2023, able to talk about a play that I was able to go back in time and go watch personally. Um, Here's an overview of the play. Me sitting front row. The play is set in Verona, Italy, and revolves around the feud between two noble families, the Montagues and the Capulets. The central characters are Romeo, who is a Montague, and Juliet, who's a Capulet, who fall deeply in love with each other despite the feud between their families. The story begins with a street brawl between two servants of the Montague and the Capulet households, illustrating the long-standing animosity. Romeo, feeling deeply love for a woman named Rosalind, attends a party at the Capulet house where he meets and falls in love with Juliet. The two decided to marry in secret the next day. So let me put a pause right there. So I don't even understand how Romeo, a Montague, even got into the Capulet house. They can't stand each other. Their families don't like each other at all. You ever heard the saying, "Oh, he from across the tracks"? So, usually just referring to, gangs or something like that. Usually, when somebody say they from across the tracks, you don't get along with them. So I don't even know how Romeo ended up getting into Juliet's house. But long story short, he falls deeply in love with Juliet. And if you think about it, he was in love with two women. Excuse me. He was in love with two women, Rosalind, and then he went to a party at the Capulet house and met Juliet and fell in love with her. So the two got married after one day. That's what you call love at first sight. And however, fate took a tragic turn when Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, challenges Romeo to a duel. Excuse me. Romeo tries to avoid the confrontation, but Tybalt was like, "Nah, I'm finna go kill your close friend, Mercutio." In retaliation, Romeo killed Tybalt and is subsequently banished from Verona. And here's where it sucks. So imagine going to a party, meeting a girl, falling in love, you two secretly getting married the next day and not tell nobody, knowing your family hate each other, and ended up getting banished because you killed somebody you didn't want to kill. In Romeo's defense, Romeo wanted to keep the animosity down. Don't quite know where the misconception or confusion came in that to where Romeo didn't duel with Tybalt. And what's crazy is during that time period, if you were challenged to a duel, you had to honor that duel. It's just like if I was challenging the Roman Emperor or something to a duel, which that probably would never happen. But if I challenged the Roman Emperor to a duel, he had no choice but to honor that duel. Duels were like mandatory back then. And basically, a duel is a standoff with two pistols, and basically you're trying to shoot to kill each other. And whoever lives, lives, and win the duel. Whoever dies, loses. But it was a sad, tragic story. Nobody got what they wanted. He wanted to be in love with her. He married her and didn't even get to enjoy life with her. So that sucks in itself. But that's the end for today's podcast. I hope and pray that you guys go and check out this time travel. Check out this time travel. Go to the period between 1591 to 1595 and go look at this play for yourself. It is a sight to see. And it's something outside of your comfort zone that you're not used to doing, especially everything that was going on back then is totally different. Would totally be different in today's time, even watching a play in today's time. So I encourage you guys to go look at this play live. It's your $5,000, save $5,000, and go get a part of that time travel. You guys have a good evening, and Big Jink out.